Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. And this is the first morning meeting I've led in a long time that I won't be doing a countdown or asking students in Pod A to quiet down. So we'll just bypass all that and jump right in. It's great to have all of you guys hopefully engaged this morning, Friday of week 2 of uh, eSchool. And really proud to see that every day over 93, 94% of students are showing up and engaging in their daily classes, and hope that you are all taking advantage of an opportunity to continue to advance your learning and take advantage of the work that your teachers are putting into giving you the best chances you have to keep going this year. So we miss you all. I miss you all, and look forward to hearing about your continued progress this year. We wanted to actually run a meeting today that talked about staying organized during eSchool. And this might seem for some like, oh, that doesn't bother me or it's not an issue. But frankly, this is a concern that not just students, but even adults, myself, administrators, teachers are feeling because there's just a lot of newness for all of us. And we're going to give you some tips today that I hope are really helpful. So the first area that we wanted to talk a lot about is something that is not just about how to manage your files on the computer or to keep track of what assignment is due when, although we will get to some of those tips and tools a little bit later. This one is really about taking care of yourself at school, in your home school, I should say, through some routines and practices that are really important. I think it's fair to say for all of us, this is a really hard time of change. And in order for us to do well as teachers, as administrators, as students, we really do have to take care of ourselves. Our routines are very different than they have been. And so here's some guidance. And I think this quote's a little quick to help us think about that. You're not working from home, you are at your home during a crisis trying to work. And for those of us with kids as parents, it's a challenge. For those of us as students with brothers or sisters, or a smaller place or a crowded home or whatever it may be, the challenges are very real. And it's important to give yourselves that degree of patience and acceptance of these difficult circumstances and not be too hard on yourselves. I think it's important, and Miss LaPrey frequently talks about this, but name it to tame it. But really saying it's okay and important to actually feel your feelings. And I've had to do this as a grown up, as an adult, to really think about some days I'm feeling excited and enjoying the chance to have a little bit of a more flexible environment to work in. Other days I am, sad or feeling a bit lonely or missing my friends or missing my coworkers, missing my students. And so naming those feelings is an important starting place. And if you read through this slide, you can see some of the very common emotions that all of us, I think, have felt, or many of these feelings we have felt over the past few weeks. This is something that I've really had to work on is self-care plans, but planning to take care of your physical body, super important, exercising as much as you can, taking walks, taking runs, doing workouts at home. Good old tried and true push-ups and sit-ups can be a good way to keep your body in shape. Planning to connect with others and with yourself, whether it's journaling to yourself or spending some time meditating, uh, doing virtual dinners with your friends, putting it on FaceTime, using this. I've found some fun recently doing this Jackbox TV where you can play games with your friends across the country on Zoom or whatever program you might want to use. Super fun. It's different, but it still has been a nice, refreshing thing to take part in. Taking breaks, learning how to do new things. My kids are having a great time trying to learn how to bake and cook. They're not good at it yet. A lot of smashed ingredients, lots of butter, lots of messes, and zero food that I would personally eat. But they are taking advantage of some new things to learn, and I would encourage all of us to do that. I would say stay informed, but avoid overexposure. Our screen time reports are killing us. I didn't realize that my phone could say, hey, you've been on your phone 25 hours a day. But the fact of the matter is we're on them more, but it's really important to dial back in as much as we can. Not reading every possible new update, not, overexposing ourselves to the news because at some point that does have a real big impact on your mental health. And you can still be informed without overexposing yourself. And seeking help from those around you when needed, including your teachers, advisors, people at school, or your family. Reminder, avoidance is not the same thing as rest. Those two are different, and I'll ask you to ponder what that distinction could be. But for me personally, when I'm avoiding something, I'm actually not really at rest. I'm worried about what it is I'm missing. So I would encourage us to stay engaged and then distinguish between work time and rest time. I would also say a daily schedule is important. I've really focused personally on a morning routine. I'll get up, I'll take a run around the neighborhood, come back and I'll do some stretches, make a coffee, and have some breakfast, and then sign on to the computer. I have a few spots where I try to work each day, a physical location that's similar. Right now I'm at my desk, but I'll sometimes move to the kitchen or to the living room, sometimes even in my bedroom, just to kind of keep it different. But also each of those spots is kind of set up to work. As much as you have choice, I would really encourage you to find a good spot that's consistent and away from distractions. I'll share with you in a minute the programs I like to use for a to-do list. Setting regular check-ins with teachers and advisors. For students, certainly important, but also for adults to check in with their supervisors and peers. Definitely take breaks and have an end of the day routine as well. And that's important, not just now, but always. I want to share with you a plan that Ms. Knox has used and shared with some of her advisees, and I think it's really helpful to look at some examples of how her recommended schedule has a balance of breaks, self-care, taking care of your school business, the classes or the times that you have obligations. This is again for students, some daily tasks, weekly tasks, and this is something that is shared in the presentation. So I would encourage you all to look into that. And actually, I'm going to shift over now to sharing with you a couple of other tools that I think are really helpful. And I'll actually share with you the ones on my desktop. And I often think about this is that they say technology is supposed to make my life easier, right? But why doesn't it feel like that? And I think volume is difficult. There's just a lot. And at times it's finding the right tools. And I think there's no one perfect tool. And what I show you today is not necessarily what you must use. But I would encourage you to explore some of the options that are available to make life easier. So this one, I won't show the video. You can watch it. It actually is a little helpful tutorial. And to be fair, I actually just learned this recently. It's a Chrome extension called Toby, and I'll show you what mine is here. But it allows you to categorize different things that you might have in your day. So for me, I've done mine kind of by department or focus area. So I have to worry about culture, our instruction, communication, things that the home office shares with me. But for us as students, it might be helpful to say things I need for my morning, things I need for my first class or my literacy class or my math class, because you have so many documents that what you can do instead of trying to find those each day is you open them once, and then within this program, you're able to drag those into these categories. And then to start the day, you just open this one tab, and then you can very quickly access all of that information in a neatly organized fashion. It's called Toby. It's a Chrome extension, and if you watch the video found here, it will tell you how to use it. Highly recommend it. The other one is looking at To-Do, Microsoft To-Do. There's a lot of these apps out there. This one has been something I've used for a long time. It used to be called Wunderlist, and now it's called To-Do. Very similar, but you can see it on my desktop here, is I have some checklist items, teachers I would like to talk to, things I want to do personally. And if you use that program, it can really help you be clear on steps that you want to take for the day. And within that program, you're able to create categories. So you might say math homework, science homework, etc., personal things. And it makes a nice, sweet chime sound when you're done. It kind of gives you a sense of satisfaction. And what's nice too is you can put it on your phone. And if you're not by your computer and running an errand, or you're just not by it and you think of something like, oh, I need to turn that assignment in, That app on your phone communicates with the program on your computer, so you have the same place for all that information. So my last thoughts is try something new. I'm encouraging all of you to look into a new program, a new way of operating, a new schedule. In these spaces of change, it's important to not just assume the old things that we've done that worked will still work, but that means it's an opportunity to try new things. And I'd love for you to actually share on Monday with your advisors what is one thing you tried, and actually give it a, as they would say, a college try. Give it a couple weeks, and it might make your life a little bit easier. So again, we're going to continue to work with each and every one of you to make sure that your life does get a little bit easier as this challenging time continues. And please ask questions, share ideas, share tips. And again, we miss you guys, but I'm really happy to be able to still stay connected to each and every one of you through our electronic means. So happy Friday. I hope you have a wonderful day in class and a wonderful weekend. And we'll talk to you all soon. Goodbye.